I grew up a fisherman. I grew up in Newfoundland, Canada, dropped out of high school when I was 14 and headed out to sea. All I ever wanted to be was a fisherman. The trouble was, is I worked and lived through two major ecological collapses. The first was the cod stock crash back in Newfoundland, is where it started, where 30,000 people were thrown out of work, the largest layoff in Canadian history. And that's where I began to realize, I don't come from an environmental background. I don't really think about birds and bees and bears, but I realized there weren't going to be any jobs, any food on a dead planet. And the goal of my career and my journey had to be one of ecological redemption and really figuring out, how do we make a living on a living planet? GreenWave is a nonprofit, and we're training the next generation of ocean farmers. And we do this by a farmer training program, which is very hands-on, but also an online platform where we have toolkits, farm design tools, as well as a farmer community, online sensor dashboards, and a buyer's network. And the idea there is really to give farmers as many tools and information to set them up for success in the future and to really participate and thrive in this new blue economy. Regenerative ocean farming, imagine it as an underwater garden where we have anchors and buoys, we grow vertically, and we grow just shellfish and seaweeds. And the reason we do that is they're regenerative. These are crops we don't have to feed, we don't have to fertilize, they don't require land, they don't require any fresh water, making it hands down the most sustainable form of food production. The other power of the system is that it's replicable. So anybody with 20 to 50,000 bucks, a boat, and a lease can start their own farm and be out there and participating in this new space of climate solutions. And it's scalable. And this is important, right? Small is beautiful, but scaled is necessary. And we solve that through massive replication. We think of it as GreenWave reefs, where you have 25 to 50 small scale farms, processing hub, hatchery, ring of entrepreneurs, and then you replicate that up and down the coast. And one of the core principles is one of social justice. Like the folks that have been structurally excluded from the last economy or getting directly impacted are on the front lines of climate change. So this is, for us, it's indigenous communities and fishermen who are losing their livelihoods as the fish are forced northwards. We put them at the center of our programming. Right? Because we get to build a new economy, we can address not only climate change, but we can address injustice and inequality. We started out sort of a petri dish, one of the few folks in the field. Now there are dozens and dozens of other organizations working in this sector. There's millions of dollars being deployed by governments, by investors to really scale this. I think that's really successful. This was not even on the radar or known 10 years ago. What really gets me excited is that I'm no longer the center of this, right? There are all these amazing farmers doing that blue collar innovation on their own. They're inventing, they're waking up every day out there trying to figure out new ways to grow food and address climate change. And that's just so fun for me. So I really mean this, like fading to blue has been a great honor here. This sort of planned obsolescence of me and going back to do what I love is farming. And now we really have a movement and I'm no longer the center of it.